Hi folks, Dr. Dave here with Synergy Wellness in New York to discuss the 4 types of hiatal hernia. Okay. We're about to do another video on how do you determine what type of hiatal hernia, because we've been getting so many questions about how do I know which type of hiatal hernia. We're going to do a separate video on that. Right now, I want to discuss the 4 types of hiatal hernia. So first, let's start off with a sliding hiatal hernia. Sliding hiatal hernia is the most common type of hiatal hernia, and it encompasses 90 to 95% of all cases of hiatal hernia. And that again is called a type 1 sliding hiatal hernia. But the problem is a lot of doctors don't, or GI docs don't, write that in the report, which can be really frustrating. Type 2 is called a rolling or paraesophageal hiatal hernia. Now, the sliding hiatal hernia is the top portion of the stomach herniates up, the lower esophageal sphincter herniates up through the diaphragmatic entrance, which is called the hiatus. Type 2, the rolling or paraesophageal hiatal hernia, is when the gastroesophageal junction is anchored below the diaphragm, but the upper part of the stomach is above the diaphragm. And it's a little bit worse than a sliding type 1 hiatal hernia in the sense that the stomach rolls up alongside the hernia above the diaphragm. So type 2 is, that's why they call it a rolling or paraesophageal hernia. And I want to touch on the 4 types. My patented device, the Reflux Shield, only helps with type 1, and we've used it on type 2, but there are some risks there. Now, type 3, a mixed hiatal hernia, also less common than type 2, and definitely less common than type 1. Type 3 is a combination of type 1 and type 2 hiatal hernias. So that is what's called a type 3 or mixed hiatal hernia. Then you have type 4, which is a complex hiatal hernia. And I want to say that type 3 and type 4 typically do require surgery if you're symptomatic, and most people are symptomatic. Type 4 is a severe and very rare form where the stomach is actually up into the abdominal, above the abdominal cavity, into the thoracic cavity, and it causes all sorts of complications. Again, it's really rare, much less common. If you don't know what type of hiatal hernia you have, you probably 95% chance you have a type 1 sliding hiatal hernia. And if you want to be able to read your endoscopy report and figure out which you have, check out our next video on that. And we've got a whole playlist of videos on hiatal hernia, starting with understanding hiatal hernias. You name it, A to Z, I have touched on it except for this topic. We've talked about it, I think, in one other video, the 4 types of hiatal hernias. So there you have it, folks, the 4 types of hiatal hernia. I hope that helps. And don't forget to subscribe. We're putting out 4 new videos every single week. We've got over 1,000 videos, and you're missing all of them if you don't subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you guys so much. If you got anything from this video, or even if you just like this view of the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building, give me a like and don't forget to subscribe. Appreciate you guys.